Yo, 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 yo. What is up, chat? How's it hanging, everybody? How's everybody doing? I'm getting set up here. We got we got things. We got tea. We got lots of stuff. I want to say thank you to the members who have been contributing to the drama channel on the Discord. Nani especially, who puts in a lot of work. Listen, we all have our fixations. This is a great fixation to have. Oh man. Anyway, when I saw the drama that is our headlining story, I immediately had a take. All right. I immediately had a take. So, yeah. We'll get into that. All right. So, as we wait for gamers to come in and chill out this fine evening. Hold on. Let me put out a tweet. I'm drinking some energy drink to get the little boost I need. Here we go. Boom. Okay, so I need some like exciting music. None of this is exciting. This is like royalty-free lo-fi beats to relax and study to. You know, I need something that's like the opposite of that. What's this royalty-free EDM? This ain't any better. What's this? No, this is no better. This is no better. Hold on. Diesel on God, please tell me y'all got different designs on the coffee bag opening. So we're gonna have a decaf soon. So that'll be bass. Play the Gummy Bear song, play Benny Hill theme. Wow, a diesel. What up, Bernie? All right. I get to the midpoint of the bag and end up throwing grounds everywhere while spooning out some. So let's talk tea, chat. Let's talk tea. So there's been a drama recently with a bread tuber known as Quinton Reviews, right? So if you don't know what a bread tuber is, I'm going to inform you that it's basically like a commentary guy, but instead of being a populist or a centrist, they're a leftist. And while that doesn't seem like it would be a big distinction or one that's worth making, the reasoning is that sometimes they say crazy things, right? Now, I try to avoid doing crazy things, but these people kind of lean into it, right? Because they're in that culture war thing because none of them touch grass. So Quinton Reviews is one of those people. A long time ago, Quinton Reviews accused Chris Ray Gun of I think being a neo-Nazi. I'm a little rough on the T there, right? But Quinton Reviews, who is our thumbnail for today, is this, okay, I'm going to be a little bit disingenuous. Not disingenuous. I'm going to be mean. He's like a fat nerd.
Why talk tea when we can talk coffee? Manapot D10.
That's a great point, Kat. That's true. If you'd like talking about coffee, I sell some Mana Potion Coffee at manapotioncoffee.com. Use D10 at checkout for 10% off your order. Anyway, Quinton is like this fat nerd who does media analysis, which is like more than half of the bread tubers that exist. The one exception to that rule is probably Hassan and ContraPoints. The rest of them are incredibly ugly. Anyway, That has nothing to do with anything. But unfortunately, I'm going to be a guy who judges people by the cover, right? And sometimes you look at a person and you go, "Damn, this bitch looks crazy." And I saw the thumbnail for this video and I went, "Damn, this bitch looks crazy." Also, speaking of coffee, before we get into it, I have dice that we're going to be putting in the next couple of orders, right? We have dice. They haven't been officially released, and they'll come as special stuff in orders in the future. Just wait for the next Mana Potion tabletop video, and I'll have them out then. I'm staring at it now, and I'll post a pic of the dice soon. But they're done, which is great. I like Shu, but I don't think she's a bread tuber. So Shu, unfortunately, has been fighting the neo-Nazi allegations for 1 billion years, and she's going to be doing that forever.
I have been waiting for Quinton reviews to step in it forever. He loves calling other people problematic, but shocker, he couldn't live up to his own standards. Rest in piss, love Nezkeek.
Here's the thing. You're not going to like my take on this, but thank you for the 10 smackers. I'm on Quinton's side for this drama because this bitch is crazy, okay? Before I even go over what happened, here's her thread. You might notice I can't view it anymore because she went private because Quinton actually just RKO'd her. Okay? Like literally RKO'd her. So I'm going to show you the thumbnail, and I just want our knee-jerk reaction to this interesting young individual. I have literally... Okay. Thank God they put their pronouns in bio, I think. Or I would have really stepped in it there. All right. Yeah, Shu gets it way too much. I feel bad for her. I will say, Shu's time with Armored Skeptic sounds like a lore dump stream. Because that was a very interesting relationship. Okay. So here's the video. It says, my experience with Quinton reviews. Right? Now, you see Flower Gothic's eyes, and I feel like eyes are the window to the soul. I have bad... her eyes give me bad vibes, right? Like, that's a very, like, you know, knee-jerk reaction. But for the putting everybody on the same page here, this young person, she was an editor for Quinton Reviews, and in my personal opinion, was paid quite handsomely for very mediocre work. Some of you might know that I do editing work on occasion. I do contract editing work with YouTubers as well as corporate entities, right? I work as a corporate video editor, and I'm very fast. People hire me because I'm fast. I've also worked in production, primarily on commercials with non-for-profits and other such things, right? So my experience with the industry is actually a lot deeper and multifaceted. Obviously, here I hire editors. I have 2 who are very good workers and amazing people that if I could pay them more, I would, because I believe that artists should be paid for their work, and editing is an art. Flower Gothic was paid very well for her work, but she also probably doesn't edit very fast and is a film student. And when you go to film school, you notice people who are the kind of people that have no talent and they're like, okay, if you guys watch Red Letter Media, do you know what a black tank top film is, right? A black tank top film is like a guy who's like middle-aged, makes an action movie where he gets a girl half his age, and it's very unself-aware. The Room is a black tank top movie. It is the quintessential black tank top movie. But there's a lot of those kind of people in film school where they smoke a cigarette, think they're artsy, and then everything they produce is the biggest garbage you've ever heard, right? And from the moment the video starts, she portrays herself as that kind of person. But she is accusing Quinton of being a bad boss, right? That is what she's doing. She's accusing Quinton Reviews of being a bad boss. And in the past, had tried to accuse Quinton of this as well, but it didn't pick up any steam, right? So now it picks up steam, and it gets covered by a bunch of drama people, and now Quinton has to come out and address it. This is a point against Chris Ray Gun, by the way. Chris Ray Gun, when this video came out, made a subtweet because, you know, he had personal beef with Quinton, made a subtweet basically defending her, saying that she was underpaid for the work that she did. And I'd say she was underskilled to be getting work, personally, right? And I can say that I've been on both sides of the aisle for this kind of business, right? But without further ado, let's watch it. Let's see what happens.
All right, fine. I'll make an actual video talking about my experiences with Quinton Reviews.
So, Saga with the 20. Holy shit. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I don't know why the TTS isn't playing it. But hello. And yeah, I think this is going to be a very fun stream. I also have some updates on other stories after we get through this one. All right. So, you know when a YouTuber with like no audience does the... So I guess you've all been wondering where I've been, right? This is literally the "so I guess you've all been wondering where I've been" thing that she is doing.
All right, fine. I'll make an actual video talking about my experiences with Quinton Reviews. Hello, everyone. My name...
I feel like she poured the wine glass in this video because she wanted to convey to us, the audience, that she is like, I don't know, going through it or something, right? Like that seems to be a pretty fair assessment of what's going on here. But personally, it kind of just looks like she's an alcoholic when she does that, right? Like, it doesn't look like I'm so stressed about Quinton. It looks like, oh, no, I'm actually just drunk.
My name is Julia, known on the internet as Flower Gothic, and I edited Quinton Reviews' first 2 iCarly videos.
I love how TTS is so
Hi
late.
Diesel, looking forward to this stream, smile.
I'm glad you're looking forward to the stream, and I'm glad TTS sort of kind of works. It's not me. Here's another thing. You guys ever see Sammy, the classic Sonic fan? You ever see that video, right? She kind of reminds me of like a person who's like really into the Sonic fandom. She has the mannerisms like that, right? Like, I don't know why, but I'm just reminded of Sammy, the classic Sonic fan. Is it bad to think she looks like Just the Minx? I think Just the Minx is, well, she definitely has an alcohol problem, but she's way prettier. That would be doing a disservice to her, I think.
I edited the majority of I Binged iCarly, and I was essentially the sole editor for the end of iCarly.
TTS jump scare.
Hey, well, that one came through semi on time, Cat. Okay. So she was one of the main editors for Quinton's things, right? And what we'll find out is that she had a huge hand in
I
these videos.
edited the majority of I Binged iCarly, and I was essentially the sole editor for the end of iCarly. While editing for him, I was overworked, underpaid, and I eventually realized that he never treated me as a friend, even though he called me one. Oh, and if you think I'm lying about that,
I think you're an awesome, funny person and a great friend, and I'm grateful to have you around. Now get some rest, hun. Lol, you my homie. So here's another thing. She tries to portray Quinton as being like some disingenuous fuck who's like using her for her services. But not only does Quinton pay her well, Quinton is 100% kind and on the ball for all of these DMs that are shown. I want to stop real quick and thank so many people. My friends Hippie Rat and Flower Gothic for watching the show with me so I wouldn't be so lonely doing this crazy stuff. To my editors for taking the reins on huge chunks of this video, and to my Patreon supporters. So this is coming from Quinton. Right? This is coming from Quinton. What up, Josh? I was just thinking about you. So here's something you're going to notice is that Flower Gothic took time out of her day, her free time, to watch iCarly with Quinton reviews. That was not in her job description. She just did it because she was friends with Quinton. Okay?
today I want to talk about the year and a half I associated myself with Quinton and how he ended up kind of fucking me over. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Fuck if I know. I've talked about this before on social media, but some dear friends of mine encouraged me to make an official call-out video to get the word out, more in a way that's not me drunkenly yelling at people on Twitter. So
here's another great thing. She, in the first minute of this video, also admits that she has a problem with liquor. Yeah, there's quite a lot. Listen, chat. You know, we all have autisms. I'm glad you're all wasting that energy on me this evening.
Do this. Our story starts in February 2020 with Garfield Eats.
Look. How am I supposed to take any of this shit seriously when you introduce stuff with, "It all started long ago with Garfield"?
I half-jokingly made a story on my Instagram asking for Garfield Eats to come to Houston, which is my hometown and where I lived at the time. The Garfield Eats Instagram liked it, and I didn't think much of it until
I like how she kept that in. Oh, shit, that's funny.
couple of weeks later, when I was added by Garfield Eats to a group chat where they were asking fans of the restaurant to invest in their expansion that ended up never happening. One of the other people...
So like, what the fuck does this have to do with anything, right? Right, what's this whole Garfield lore dump needed? I don't think this needed to be here, right? She's loopy. I know, okay? You know, I don't want to say it out loud, but you know, it's not that hard for us to make some judgments on her, okay? Like, let's come on.
In that chat was Quinton.
So in that chat, in the so she met Quinton Reviews through Garfield Eats. There we go. They're having a conversation about Garfield.
At this point, I knew of him, but I wasn't necessarily a fan. I knew he made that popular hashtag change the channel video and a couple of other things, but I never watched them, or if I did, I don't remember. Oh, and if you're wondering, he gave Garfield Eats like $100 or something for their expansion. Eventually, Garfield Eats let their fanvestors, yes, that's what
Josh, if you stick around, I'll let you in at the end of the stream, okay?
they really called us, have a Zoom meet and greet with Nathan Masry himself on April 20th. I went because
like there's all this like weird Garfield lore dump.
I had nothing better to do, and lo and behold, Quinton was there too, wearing a fucking Garfield cap. Nathan Masry then confused me for Strange Aeons. No, really, he actually did that. Oh,
God, I'm so sorry. Strange Aeons got confused for Flowery Gothic. That's a rough one. Strange Aeons and Flowery Gothic look nothing alike. If you want to know who that is, hold on. Let me pull him up. Hold on. This is Quinton responding. I don't think we'll watch his whole thing. Right. somehow 1 million subs. Wow, holy shit, I'm so unsuccessful. But that's Strange Aeons. There's no fucking way. I can't believe they got them mixed up. Oh my god.
Fine, I'll make an actual video talking about my experiences with Quinton reviews.
I was about to be like, did we just go back to the beginning? Hold on. Wrong one.
Don't believe I was in that meeting and that was the first genuine interaction Quinton and I had? Well, let's look at his Garfield plush video.
And it seemed like most of the people were there to troll him or put him on the spot.
There I am! That's me! That's me trying to process everything that's being said in the chat!
Ah, Jesus. Ah. All right, chat. I'm going to say something real out of pocket. I'm going to say something a little mean. All right? I'm going to say something really bad. It's like the wine is mixing with her autism, and she's like really making this look super bad. Okay? I feel so bad. That might not be the case, but like...
I posted about it on Twitter, and Quinton liked and retweeted a bit of it. I think I followed him at that point. I don't remember. It was certainly around that time. And that was that. Until a month and a half later. My friend Superdark was on Quinton's Discord server for
I don't fucking care. All right, so she meets Quinton reviews, they become friendly, and then she does like an editing challenge where she ends up becoming like an editor.
I considered him a friend, and he told me he considered...
And they become friends over that period of time, okay? But she apparently doesn't think that friends are that way, right?
me a friend, but let's get on with it. Again, I mostly addressed this in a Twitter thread, so if any of this sounds like rehashing, I do apologize. 1 month before I binged iCarly dropped, things were moving super slow. Minimal progress, so to speak. Quinton had no real assets to work with, and if memory serves me right, he was just scratching the surface of season 2. I remember
Well, the CIA has become a station attendant, and the Final Flash has also become a station manager. Welcome to the gas station. I am unfortunately the owner of this establishment. Also, hello, CB2.
Quinton having little done in mid-May because that was the same time I turned 21, which in America is a very significant birthday, because that's when you can finally drink. So when Quinton was lamenting about looking for editors to get the video out before the iCarly revival, I volunteered myself. I spent 8 hours of my May 16, 2021 editing Quinton's thoughts on the pilot, which was the tryout everyone who applied had to do. Here was Quinton's reaction.
Yes, I will watch Quinton's response. Okay, so Quinn likes her work, and he says, wow, okay, so quick note, and this is a thing you had no reason to know. I'm trying to avoid any visual references to Dan Schneider or the feet thing, with one exception. I'm only telling you this because it seems like you got the gig from what I've seen here. Okay, so you followed my short second clips a rule a little too closely. For the most part, 1 to 2 clips per sentence is the most you need. So yeah, my notes are... My notes are never show Dan Snyder's name unless I tell you to. The cuts in the locker scene are a bit heavy. Otherwise, I'm happy with this. What I'm going to do now is download it and move bits of your visuals over to the edit. I already did because you did some stuff that's great. Then I'm going to get the whole thing wrapped up. So here's what we talk about in edits, right? So the producer or production manager of a thing, in this case in YouTube stuff, works in tandem with the editor in order to get the edit and vision you want. These are actually really decent notes. I'll show you. I will show you some notes that I have personally, right? Because everything I do comes with notes. Everything that I give to my people who edit comes with notes. All right. So this is really short, and the reason for this being short is, hold on. There we go. Here, I just didn't want to show anything that wasn't supposed to be there, right? So I hand a VOD to an editor, right? I label it with the date. I say what the video topic is going to be. I tell them when that starts in the VOD, right? And then I say what I want and how long I want it, right? I do all that. That's normal. What Quinton is doing is not only normal, it's best practices. Now, there are some YouTubers I know of that do really over-the-top notes, right? So it's like it's kind of a mix. You want to be kind of fluid with it, right?
She's trying to copy Sarah Z and Lindsay Ellis, but cringe.
Yes. Yes. Yes, that's a great way to put it. I put off drawing men getting bread for your stream. Is this actually worth watching? Interesting.
My boss gave me some notes. #toxic #cancelled.
I know. How dare they? I get notes all the time, but the thing is that you don't, when you edit so much and you edit as much as I do and you edit for clients, you can't be personal about it. You can't be personally invested. Obviously, I care about the work I do, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's what the client wants. So if the client wants everything in Comic Sans, you go do that.
So, yeah, I was hired, like, immediately. Was there a contract? No. Why didn't I ask for one? 2 reasons. 1, this was my very first real editing gig.
So Flower Gothic, I'm going to tell you right now, if this is how you fucking operate, get the fuck out of the film industry. All right, honey, you ain't going to make it. I'm sorry. You're just not. Okay, bruh. For all of my editors, we negotiate a few things, and we do put it in text writing in Discord, right? So I say, how much do you want? This much. Okay, I can meet that. Or how about this much, right? We go back and forth and have a verbal negotiation. We reach an agreement in that. And then we talk about the terms of what the job is, right? I don't write up a contract. The contract is verbal and spoken and then reiterated in text later, so that way we both have it in writing for us, right? This is the same way it is for both of my editors. You don't need a contract, and I can tell you that a majority of the YouTubers who work and have editors, there's not usually a formal contract. Sometimes there is. It depends on the scale of it. Now, could Quinton have gotten it at his size? Yeah, 100%. Quinton probably could have done a lot of things. Quinton probably could have put her on a salary personally at the level that is going on right here. But also, a lot of people in this industry get paid per video or per hour on the video that they edit. I edit very fast, so I charge people per hour because I just feel it's fair, right? And obviously, it's a sliding scale. So my skill level is a little more, so I'm going to charge more just for my thing.
Fresh to the scene, as they say, and honestly, I had no clue that contracts were a necessity, too. I had a major admiration for Quinton. I thought, hey, he's worked with people before. He knows the drill. I placed my trust in him. Now, during the majority...
she places her trust in him, and I don't see anything that he's done wrong. He's been nothing but professional, cordial, and polite to her, right? But that's because Flowery Gothic is leaving out important details to this information. So I'm going to get out ahead here and actually just fucking destroy her entire platform right now. In the first seconds of Quinton's response video, he talks about how this individual, Gothic, is actually has a crush on him, right? And everything that she's done is through the angle of her trying to get Quinton's affection, love, attention. So this is her lashing out against somebody who... basically curved her, right? But we'll keep going. Let's see what her fucking points are. I think it's very disingenuous what she's doing, but this is the fucking problem, right?
Of my time editing, I binged iCarly. I was in a 3-week, 15-day symposium for college where we made 2 short films. These classes lasted about 4 hours, not including an hour break for lunch. So I would wake up at 7 a.m., go to class at 9, stay there till like 2 or 3, and go home and edit iCarly until like 9 or 10 p.m. Taking breaks, of course, for dinner and bathroom stuff, but only those 2 things. In total, I was working about 7 hours a day on that iCarly video, along with school and my own content. And as I said...
Okay. So 4 hours a day is class. 4 hours a day is class. And then she said she's spending 7 hours on editing. Now, I watched... Yeah, Craig, that's a great point, right? She did a part-time job, okay? She did a part-time job. Because I watched the iCarly video. I skimmed parts of it. That editing in that video did not need to take multiple weeks, 8 hours a day. It did not. I can tell you it did not. I can look at the edits and see what it is, right? He doesn't... Okay, so Quinton gets the notes and a script. He shares the script and the notes with Flowery Gothic, so she knows what clips go where, so she doesn't have to watch all these things. On top of that, she watched it with him. She would know firsthand what episodes go where, right? Unless she's counting watching the show with Quinton as work time. 7 hours a day, you mean like a normal job? So she had college responsibilities and did not communicate with her employer. Right? So I'm looking at this edit, right? And I'm going, there's no way that this took that amount of time. Right? There's just no fucking way this took that amount of time. So I will show you what it looked like. Wow, I actually thought Quinton had 1 million subs. Surprising. He made a lot of money off of this video. All right, I'm going to silence this just in case there's like stuff here, right? So we're watching the intro. There's like a soundtrack playing, right? I'm speeding it up because that it takes too long. Right? So there's all that going on. Quinton gives a piece to camera. Right? This is up on the side. This takes no fucking time to do. All right. That's a hard cut with more Patreon plug, right? And then it's just clips of iCarly interstitched with hard cuts to Quinton giving a piece to camera. So what a piece to camera is this. It's me sitting here and talking to you, right? A hard cut is where the cut isn't like a J or L cut. It doesn't smoothly transition from one to the other. Man, I look like really greasy today. I came back from the gym and now I'm here, right? Right? But what I'm trying to establish to you all here is that outside of getting the clips from the iCarly episodes, there is nothing laborious or strenuous about this timeline. If I were to depict this timeline for you, right, it would be literally a straight line with hard cuts the entire way through. The only thing that makes this long is the length. And that is the only reason that it would be that long, or it would take that long to edit, right? And I just want to say, like, let's compare that to what's happening with Tro's video about Dr. Phil, right? So you have these VFX shots, and then it says who edited that part of the VFX. This is an After Effects, usually After Effects composition right here, right? So that is multiple layers and multiple items behind Tro right there, right? So that's complicated. That edit is much more complicated. Obviously, the better you get at it, the easier that's going to be, right? There is an effect placed over this B-roll in order to separate it. There is fancy VFX work, okay? Very fancy VFX work in this Tro video that separates it from something else. So, Craig, editing can be hard, but the minimum requirements for YouTube videos are much lower and then increase exponentially, right? Right, so you have VFX compositions, which are basically like multiple layers of a Photoshop image, right, on a canvas, right? But what we're talking about with Quinton is so simple that for her to spend multiple weeks, 8 hours a day, I mean, Jesus, I personally, if I was her, I'd be like, yeah, it took me 8 hours a day. Anyway, pay me $2,000, right? When in reality, it maybe took like 4 hours of my evening, 3 hours of my evening, leaving me multiple time to continue to do my other stuff in life. But she's treating it like she doesn't have any time for herself. And I just don't believe that, because I've been editing my own content over the entire 5-year course of my college experience, and I've only gotten better and faster. But what? You get to the end of your college experience and you're slow at it? By the time you're at that level, you should already know what you're doing. I'm sorry.
I was the sole guest editor for seasons 1 and 2.
Oh man, she's so drunk.
By the time season 3 was being edited, more...
Oh my god, yeah, she is really drunk. She edited this whole video drunk.
editors joined, and my workload reduced. Even then, Quinton credited me for saving the project.
There are still like 2-ish gaps left, but in both of those places, I thought just leaving the graphics as a black screen was funnier. Wow, I'll be able to check sometime this weekend. Cool. But I think you should take a few days off. You've done a lot of great work, really. You just about saved the project. I did. Okay, so here's Quinton complimenting her work and telling her that she should take time off from working. Do you think she's lying about how long it took? No, I think she's being honest about how long it took because she's bad. She strikes me as a person who's like, editing so hard. I don't know how to get through this. Can you just show me? Right? People who don't edit take a long time. The faster you get at editing, the easier it is to get through things in a quick amount of time. If I wanted to, guys, I could pump out a video every day, right? maybe 4 hours editing, 4 hours recording. I'd have to save some time afterwards for writing. But yeah, I just don't think she's very good. I think that's really just the gist of it. iCarly vid is 3.5 hours. That contains hard cuts into Quinton giving his thoughts, occasionally 1 or 2 layers on the side. If I'm being generous, it might take 4 to 5 hours per video at 16-ish hours. Yeah. Who replies to compliments about their work like this? Well, Kate, it's because she had a crush on him.
Payment was not discussed until after the video was released. Hell, I didn't even know how much I would get paid until the video dropped. He offered $2,000.
So she didn't even negotiate terms of payment at the beginning, which as a contract worker is usually what you do, right? Every time I sit down with a client, I go, okay, so what are you looking for? They tell me what they're looking for, and then I say, okay, well, we can do that. My rate is going to be this. If you want to talk about doing other things, it's going to incur fees, this, that, or the other thing, right? And it goes up from there. Hold on. I am getting a call. I apologize. All right, I apologize for that. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, yeah. Anyway, what I was saying, right? Yeah, 2K. I think 2K is more than enough fair. I think that's pretty good for what's being asked here. I'm guessing that Quinton has more money than he knows what to do with, and probably not a lot of business sense, because a lot of YouTubers were never business people, and I see myself more like a business person first, right? Bro, I just worked a 7-hour shift and she makes more than I do a month each. Right? So she didn't negotiate anything. This should have all been determined before, pre-hand, right? And you know what? She's like in her early 20s. This is something you learn. But this is a very generous payment for that work that was done.
Of which PayPal took a cut. I know I took like 2 or 3 days off while editing, but all in all, I was working 6 or 7 days a week on that mess. I didn't even know I was being underpaid until experienced editors pointed it out to me.
I don't know if I'd agree with that. I'm a very experienced editor, and there's such a sliding scale in the industry. If you're a beginner editor, usually you'd make around $20 an hour. And again, I don't think that all of the time she was spent working on this was productive. Like, did she do any time learning? Does she know any shortcuts? Does she know what she's doing? I don't think she does.
Once the videos were out, Once the video was out, Quinton worked on the Victorious video because he wanted...
Someone on Twitter posted it. It was $200 per 10 minutes. What do you think it should be? So $200 for a 10-minute video? It depends. So I edit for a Tozy. I'd say for those, it does take me about like a video that I edit for him might earn me like 150, somewhere around there. It usually depends. You know, it's a sliding scale. Now, for her quality, it's definitely overpaid, just my opinion. Like it always depends, right? My editing price is determined by the complexity of the task, right? My base contract when working in Hollywood was 50 hours. I spent a lot more than that to get everything done that was expected of me. I have problems being sympathetic to her.
his then long hair that he was planning to cut to be his style for that video for reasons I don't quite remember. And I worked on my own content. But even then, I still watched Victorious along with him and Hippie. I gave him notes and everything.
Yeah, but Gothic, you gotta understand here. Now what you're doing is being taken out of like that's not in your job. You don't need to be there, right? So now you're just being there as a friend, and he sees you that way. Editing is like photography. You're going to have low rates at first to build a portfolio, and then you can charge because you have something to show value to your work. Yeah. That's how it was for me. I can charge a lot more now, right? But then I also have, like, streaming and my main channel, so it's hard to just, throw out huge numbers. But, again, I get it for contract workers. I really do.
Hell, 2 of the jokes in the Victorious video were from my notes.
You could argue that Rex and Robbie are, in a way, a representation of the Freud psychoanalytic theory, which posits that there are numerous different aspects of our personalities which we strive to strike a balance between. Transpires that Kat has used a parody of Gorilla Glue for the adhesive, meaning the makeup is stuck to Tori's face, and also that the writers predicted Gorilla Glue Girl.
And he gave me and Hippie special thanks in the original ending for the first Victorious video. Also, did you know that the Victorious video was intended to only be one video? The entire iCarly video essay series was meant to only be like 6 videos. 2 for iCarly, 1 for Victorious, 1 for Sam and Cat, 1 for all of Dan Schneider's fuckery, and 1 for the reboot. Now he's 6 videos in, and he hasn't even finished Sam and Cat. Think about that. One more thing before I discuss End of iCarly. If you saw my Duggar video, you would know that my travel companion got really sick while we were in Arkansas, and I had to take them to urgent care. Throughout the entire trip, I periodically messaged Quinton about it, especially since I was originally going to go for the Josh Duggar trial. He seemed very passive.
What is he fucking supposed to do, lady? What is he supposed to do? Oh, I'm so sorry. Your friend is sick. Also, yes, this is for your video. Lol. I figured, well, good luck. Good luck with what, lol? I don't know. Filming street quarters or whatever you're doing for the video. Right now, it's just mini golf. I wonder if this is after Quinton curved her. I'm one of like 2 or 3 editors, right? So the chance that you've seen my work with Otozi is very slim. But yeah, I do his videos on occasion when his other editors get like over encumbered with work.
And he was one of the first people I talked to once I got back. I sent a message about how much of a clusterfuck the trip turned out to be. I finally found the message. I'm not going to show all of it to respect the pronouns of my travel buddy, as well as his response.
As a result, my friend got really sick and ended up not getting any sleep for today. Because of this, we ended up doing less than half the things we initially planned on and spend more time at the hotel so Blank could rest and recuperate. We did not get the riskier shots I wanted to because we feared we would get shot. Fucking head empty. Fucking head empty. There's no what? Her texts are equally casual, so why the fuck would he do anything? So was she treating the Josh Duggar trial like a goddamn vacation excuse?
Do you think the crickets in her video are trying to tell her something?
They are actually, and she's not listening. Ay.
Once Quinn switched gears to iCarly Part 2, I, for some reason, ended up being the only editor hired for it.
Only editor hired for it. Can you stop slurring? Do this sober. Why are you so drunk?
I was the sole editing credit. Now, I kept in mind Video 1's 4-week turnaround time, and the fact that summer was coming to an end. I made it clear to Quinton that my availability was limited and that there would come a point where I had to return to school for my final semester. I even showed him my calendar.
This is my schedule looking for the rest of the August editing wise. Live stream to nobody on Friday. That's a nightmare. I suppose we can pull on some editors in my backlog. I presume the calm numbers is something that would stop you from editing, correct? They're afternoon classes, though, so I should have time to edit in the morning, unless if my school changes its mind and decides that it's going to be all at home. So this is over the pandemic. Yeah, so she's got, like, the afternoon classes. It's like 10. A lot of comm classes, lots of communication. Wait a second. This is one fucking class. What the fuck? That was
around
one class.
time, and the fact that summer was coming to an end. I made it clear to Quinton that my availability was limited and that there would come a point where I had to return to school for my final semester. I even showed him my calendar.
Oh, that's 2 classes. Okay, so we have COM 4381 and COM 3380. And those go back to back on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So she has off on Mondays. And Fridays she's also off, but she fills it with live streaming. This, even if she had 4-hour classes, which, I mean, I took a lot of comm classes, I mean, she'd still have a lot of time. A lot of these classes are like workshop time. So, I mean, I'm assuming what it is, but it's debatable on how much work she actually has. Especially when you're at your final semester of college, it's all like you show up, you just get a degree at the end. Like, so work Monday, Friday then. No, but you can't work Friday. She's live streaming.
One additional class was added to that calendar for Mondays and Wednesdays after that, and there was one do-at-your-own-pace class that was entirely online and thus not on the calendar. And instead of showing respect for my time, he would take forever to send me the assets. It left me on the edge, constantly on my toes throughout August and September.
See what I mean? Like, she reminds me of Sammy, the classic Sonic fan. Those mannerisms are just, like, so theatrical. She's also gone through that entire wine glass.
And remember, I was the sole editor. There were times I had to beg him for the fucking assets for me to do my job. I even expressed.
She's so drunk, she had to repeat herself.
Grievances via message.
I noticed I had a lot on my mind lately about the iCarly project and everything, and I wanted to write it all down before I went offline for the night. Thanks again for having me on. This may be an opportunity to edit your iCarly series. Again, this is my first serious editing credit. It ain't that serious, I can tell you that right now. YouTube is like bottom of the barrel, honey. It is something that I'm more than happy to have in my editing portfolio. As previously mentioned, I only have a couple weeks of summer break left before class starts again. Fortunately, it's 3 classes that I'm sure I can manage, but that's going to leave me with less time to edit both your projects and my own personal projects. I've also been roped into helping a couple friends with their projects from time to time, and I'm starting to seriously consider what I'm going to do after I graduate in December. Okay, so if this is a part-time editing gig, just be like, listen, I need more time to myself, so hire somebody else. So why are we being so theatrical about it? She goes on to say, I can't help but feel frustrated with the lack of ability to work on a project. I've cleared out as much of my schedule as I can for this month. I'm sorry. I've had really fucking busy months in college and YouTube and all that, and I still like at what point is it just your inability to schedule things? Like, really, at the end of the day, college is an experience in like learning to schedule, right? That's like it. Yeah, Nostalgia Critic. She feels like Nostalgia Critic. I would be editing and delays when you would be recording filming. I even started to get some bouts of anxiety over the lack of being able to actually do anything for the project. I know you've been busy with other things on your end, and I totally get that. However, remember that starting on the 24th, I have less time to edit due to classes and other potential school-related commitments. I literally just had an editor finish her education, and she was like, I don't have time to edit. So you know what happened? I was like, great. You're good. Have fun. Focus on your classes. I won't give you anything. You know? Like... I want to get the ball rolling on recording editing iCarly Part 2 as soon as possible, so I'd be able to edit everything as it comes. Maybe even get the video out before the finale if everything goes well. Quinton, hun, I love you, and I want to see this project succeed, but I don't have many more days to put other things on hold while waiting for iCarly assets to come in. Quinton, hun, I love you is a very menacing sentence there, knowing what we know, right? So here's how we know her editing's bad, because this screenshot has been up on screen for a very long time now.
Quinton's response was along the lines of, I hear you, but he didn't address anything I said.
I completely understand your frustrations. I want you to know that most recent series of delays have not been my choice. Furthermore, if you can't put a huge amount of time on delay for this, I will judge you in no way, and I sought out more editors to make sure it's easier to proceed while working with people's plans. Well, I mean, he literally addressed your main point. Spoiler, he did not seek out more editors. Well, how the fuck do you know, lady? Right? Her main complaint was immediately addressed in that response, right? All of this is saying, I'm busy, and I don't have time. And he says, I get that you're busy. I'll make it so that way you don't have to take on so much work.
So, editing Part 2 was hell, to say the least.
Okay, so that's all the files from all the assets. Why isn't it organized? Why isn't it organized? Listen, here's one thing I do, right? So I've substitute taught, and one of the main things that I'll substitute teach, right? So I'll teach underprivileged kids how to do film and all that, the whole production pipeline from start to finish, right? I focus on editing with them because I'm good at it, so that's what I do. One of the things that we teach first, before we even open up Premiere, is project management, right? So all of those sound assets, right? All this audio, right? Put that in an audio folder and separate it from Quinton's audio versus the sounds, right? All the iCarly B-roll should go in an iCarly folder, right? If you're not organizing your files and it's a mess, that's on you. That's on you. That's you not doing the time. Guys, I will say this, that I was in film school. I had reached the end, and I had to sit down and teach people my age in the final year of college, in the final class, how to do project file management, how to manage what files go where. I had to explain why you separate an A and a B camera. I had to explain why you separate these things. And she's doing that same thing. This is like the film student, I don't know what I'm doing, so my work ends up being messy. Like, that is it. She should be drinking Mana Potion coffee instead of that wine. Real.
I worked 6 or 7 hours a day on that video over the span of a little over a month, to the point where I had
All right, 6 to 7 hours a day is like a fucking part-time job.
Class from time to time to get the video done. I wanted it to succeed. I felt like, well, the video was my child. I was super attached to it, which, to be fair, is something I also experience when working on my own content.
That's one thing, right? Be attached when you work on your own content, whatever. But if you're working on clients' projects, you got to be able to separate it, all right? You need to separate that emotion. You're doing a job. You're not making art, right? It's a little different.
September 2021. End of iCarly comes out.
Look at that. She made fucking $1,600 from that video, working 6 hours a day for a month. That's amazing. That's amazing for her first job.
Guess how much Quinton offered? $1,300. I asked for $1,700 and he sent it. When I called him out originally, I wanted to highlight this part the most. That he paid me less.
Hold on, girl. You literally said $1,700. You just offered up the number.
Quinton offered $1,300. I asked for $1,700 and he sent it.
I asked for $1,700 and he sent it.
When I called him out originally, I wanted to highlight this part the most. That he paid me less for doing more.
So if... Okay, he said $1,300. You said $1,700 in response. And he agreed. So why didn't you say $2K, just like the last one? That's literally on her. He immediately... There was no negotiations after that? Oh, $1,300, $1,700. Okay, I got what I wanted. That wasn't enough. Why didn't you give me more? That's you. That's you. You literally didn't negotiate. You should have said, hey, oh my God. I get it. I know workplace abuse happens, and I know sometimes YouTubers are bad bosses, but this is not that. This is not that whatsoever, okay? When I negotiate price with the editors, I'm like, how much do you want? They're like, that much. And I say, okay. That's it. That's how you negotiate.
I binged iCarly may have been longer, but as I said,
did you hear about him creeping on Lindsay Ellis and Sarah Z? Probably. No, but I wouldn't be surprised.
2 more people were added, so I ended up doing less overall for that video than I did for End of iCarly. PayPal took their cut, and I was left feeling listless, weary. Like something was wrong, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
She's like acting.
Still called me his friend. I still gave him notes for Victorious, but I felt like everything was one-sided, that I was giving way more than I was receiving.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to be giving notes for Victorious. Why are you dedicating your free time to watching this children's show with him? That's not part of your job. Just wait for him to come to you with the notes.
In November, our friendship fell apart.
Yeah, your friendship fell apart because you were trying to fucking rizz him up the entire time.
Final nail in the coffin is still something I'll keep near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, okay. That didn't last long.
But here was my final message.
Theater kid syndrome, yes.
To him.
Regardless if you intended on responding to his messages or not, all bets are off, so I'm going to respond to you with a bullet point rejection with my own, to your bullet point rejection with my own bullet point list of every single grievance I had working on the project and our quote-unquote friendship. Taking advantage of my flexibility. Hold on. You literally showed him your schedule, and he said, I'll make it easier for you. I would literally leave class early, even when they needed all hands on deck to edit, and make sure iCarly 1 could be finished. Oh, my God. You must have been shit to work with in college. iCarly 1 could be finished before the revival came out. There were days where I did nothing but edit to the point where my friends expressed concern for my well-being. To be fair, part of this is due to my work ethic. Honey, you're just a bad timekeeper. But I literally had to put some of my own obligations aside because I was never sure when she would send me audio to finish the project. Here's the thing, guys, right? If you're a young professional, you're a young contract worker, you're a young artist, right? Here's what you need to do is that when you work on projects, don't use the project as an excuse to like eschew or just move stuff that is personal to you, right? And this goes for anybody in the working world. Don't be like, well, I need to be a good worker, so let me not take time off, right? Don't do that, right? Work is work, and then real life is something else, right? Don't do that to yourself, all right? you could work for 40 years at a company and then they'll let you go. They're not going to look at you any better. Okay? That like 2, terrible work ethic. I know you have other obligations aside from YouTube, and I do too, but while editing the second iCarly video, I felt as you weren't doing as much as you could at the time, especially when I would see you design t-shirts or buy shit off eBay instead of writing or voice recording. I wouldn't bring this up if it wasn't 1 or 2 time occurrence. This happened multiple times. It made me very frustrated. I work to live life, not the other way around. Yep. Gen Z, try not to make every relationship an intimate relationship challenge. Like he even said during the course of the second iCarly video that he had other obligations. You know? Calling me a great friend and considering me part of your circle when you didn't treat me like a friend. I remember one time when there was an iCarly episode, I had to edit that triggered some traumatic memories from an abusive relationship, and I briefly brought this up while editing. Not once did you express concern for my well-being during this episode, and I ended up having to stop working for a day because that episode was too much for me to handle. Maybe, guys, am I just like a hard ass? Do I not I literally want to give that zero charitability at all. Like, that is just fucking ridiculous bullshit. I'm sorry. Like, you need to take some responsibility for your own personal mental health at the end of the day. Like, if the iCarly episode is that triggering for you, I can't believe I'm saying that. If the iCarly episode is too triggering, take some time to walk away from it. Why is that on Quinton? That should be on you. You need to take control of your own mental health. There are other things that have rubbed me the wrong way, like the not good, to say the least, way you reminded patrons of the fact that their relationship with you was parasocial. I mean, let's be real. I don't know you people. I could be in a room with a bunch of robots watching this stream right now. Like what? The relationship is one way. You guys know all this shit about me. I don't know anything about you guys. I mean, that's at its core a parasocial relationship. You know, it doesn't mean that it's bad. Hi, Matt. Can't believe this fucking shitty television show has actually inspired people and triggered people, Matt, and triggered people. Can't forget that. Why would anybody want a Quinton plush? We're all glowies, Diesel. I believe it. I believe it. Wait, was there more there? No, okay. It just lasted forever.
I wrote it in notes because I wanted my friends to look over it before I sent it. He then gave me a half-assed apology.
Hey, I just wanted to know I wasn't leaving on you red. I try not to stay logged into Twitter these days. I only log in once every few days. I'm really sorry about all the things that were happening to you because of the project. I had no idea you were stretching yourself so thin. So you didn't communicate either, right? Or like she used these other weird little like idiosyncrasies to say like, actually, I'm working very hard. At no point did she say, like, she communicated to him that I'm working hard, and then he immediately helped her and got other people. Can't wait to see an 8-hour documentary on how Hannah Montana was integral to part of our culture. Well, you see, Matt, genuine media is dead, and all media criticism has been reduced to the funny Watch Mojo facts that go on for about 8 hours, where a guy with bad facial hair tells you about how the show actually helped inspire their anti-capitalist agenda. There was one iCarly episode my mom pointed out as it played. This is actually real things that happen in a bad relationship. It's kind of interesting that she made it a simple life lesson. I'm so sorry I was ever unresponsive about the issues you were having trauma with. I do recall having that come up, but I'm very bad at responding to such things in a way that sounds authentic. I'm sorry about that. It's just a general thing I'm not good at. I think it's totally understandable for you to take time away. blacked out, blacked put segment deals with final blow, which, as I said, I'm not comfortable talking about, which I'm guessing is the fact that I actually don't have a crush on you.
A friend of mine then chewed him out in DMs with my permission, and I got booted from his server.
Yeah, because you're being crazy parasocial. That's why you got booted from the server, and he didn't want to deal with that shit.
Was that? I spent 4 goddamn months in silence afterwards, hoping for some kind of apology.
Dude, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this weird acting. Look at this. Look at this. This is weird as hell.
In silence afterwards, hoping for some kind of apology.
That's weird, right? That's weird. I mean, I might be like looking into it too much, but like that's weird. Like she's acting weird.
But instead, he self-blocked me on Twitter on New Year's Eve. Part of me thinks he knows he fucked up, but wants to run away from his problems instead of, actually addressing them. I've spent a long time trying to make this more well-known, and, well, it's finally on YouTube, so God knows what'll happen. Right now, I don't think Quinton wants to continue the iCarly videos. I think he's just chasing a high. His iCarly videos are super successful, so he feels obligated to make these super long meandering works, each one
That was the first great thing she said. All of Quinton's iCarly videos are super long meandering works.
longer than the last, in hopes he can reach those millions of views again.
If I was Quinton and I was being a businessman, I would continue making iCarly videos. If you can bang out a 4 million view video, do you realize that that's like a year's worth of salary for some people, like for real?
That he can finally get that coveted 1 millionth subscriber.
Me $1 million. Let's make it sound. She makes Quinton seem like he's fucking Mr. Krabs. They are good background noise, though. Hey, listen, chat. I know I'm a second monitor creator. Okay, like Eve is an artist and draws. I guarantee you, I'm on Eve's second monitor right now. Okay.
And hey, maybe I'm being petty, but even 2 years later, I'm still pissed off at him for what he did. And besides, I know he hasn't changed as a boss, but that's someone else's story to tell. I know that he was indeed creepy to Sarah Zed and Lindsay Ellis in Twitter DMs.
Oh, yeah, we all know he was creepy to them, okay? My chat tells me, and I have no reason to not believe that because of how he is, okay? Just because of who Quinton is. The bread tuber guys got 0 riz, except for Hassan. Hassan has, like, all the riz. It all got, like, put into his body. It was really funny. There's the bread tuber Big Joel, right? And this is a little aside, right? So Big Joel was talking with somebody about the concept of murder on Twitter, right? And they were like saying something like, "Oh, you wouldn't approve of murder to Big Joel." And then somebody asked him like, "Well, what about Keemstar?" And he was like, "Yeah, I would approve of murder for Keemstar," or something to that effect. It was very similar along the lines of that. But it was just like one of those like crazy out of pocket takes that you just see on Twitter sometimes. Hassan might be a communist, but he's a fascist when it comes to Riz, guys.
Know the contents of those DMs, but that's someone else's story to tell. What happened to me?
She's
isn't
throwing stones in
Quinn's
glass
only
houses,
sin.
yes.
For all I know, it could just be the beginning. Share this to the people you know, and let's find out. After all, things are seldom what they seem. Non sempre sunt très evidente.
So she like drunkenly says something in French there. And it's just like, well, why? Why? Like, that is so cringe.
Seldom what they seem. Non sempre sunt très evidente.
Oh my god, is she just not... Or says something in French, knocks that shit back. Lady, it ain't cool. It's not cool. She's being coy with the receipts. Yeah, but here's the thing. When I'm coy with the receipts, I actually have receipts that like make me look even more badass, right? But her receipts don't help her at all. All right. So let's watch Quinton's response to this. I don't even think we need to watch the whole thing. She thinks she's a femme fatale and it's killing me. Well, Eve, she's such a catch.
In October of 2021, one of my editors sent me a personal message on Discord telling me that they were in love with me and they wanted to be my girlfriend.
His video doesn't need to even go a single second longer. Those first 20 seconds are the most brutal and crushing response to drama I have ever seen since last week when we saw the Colleen video.
And I wasn't really interested in this proposal for a myriad of reasons. The biggest being that I just didn't want to be in a relationship with this person.
Quinn, you dodged a bullet. You dodged a bullet. All right. You walked away with the dub.
And I basically, from that moment forwards, had to do my best to turn this person down without turning it into a gigantic mess. And at the end of the day, I guess I failed at that.
No, you didn't. You didn't. She was being vindictive and she tried to play the internet. She tried to do the thing we've seen a couple of times on this channel, a couple times on this stream, where they play the whole victim thing against the internet because they know how how the internet responds.
I guess I was not successful at turning these investments down without causing a lot of trouble. And it's now gone to the point where I kind of have to sit down and tell you guys this story, which I never wanted to stress you guys out about this thing that happened that made me uncomfortable. And just kind of telling you my story, what happened, and why I feel how I feel about the situation. For those of you who don't know, which is probably most of you, that former editor has recently made kind of a gimmick out of creating kind of clickbaity accusation content.
I've been watching your channel since the Reddit group days, finally in a place to support a channel I genuinely enjoy.
Well, you're a veteran of FPS Diesel then. Thank you for that, Kojo Mojo. Thank you for the 10. And thank you for sticking around so long through all these ups and downs. I'm glad I get to stream to an audience at the very least. I have a lot more fun doing this than I have had making videos on the main channel for a very long time. But that is very sweet of you. Thank you. I once saw comments on the Big Joel community post via the Little Joel account about how it's okay for protests to inconvenience people that have nothing to do with the issue they're protesting. And if you're against those protests, you're part of the problem, something like that. Joel's post was on that subject and basically was saying the same thing. So the thing with like BreadTube is that they're all like, so it's really funny, right? So people, and let me give a take, right? Because I recently had a really heated conversation about iDubbbz and Froggy and commentary and all of this, and this was with a very close friend, right? But they were a YouTuber and they were looking for alternative takes. And I've had this a couple times now with people from my past, even all the way back to the Reddit days, where they say, I'm glad I left commentary because it was filled with bad people, right? I've spent the last 4 months getting pretty ingratiated in that commentary community, right? And the takes that people have, right, where they say everybody's like a neo-Nazi, a fascist, a this, a that, it's wrong. It's wrong, right? I had to sit down and tell someone in private, no, Nicholas Diorio is not a fascist. He's actually left-leaning, you know, but it's just because he's not agreeing with the most psychotic possible takes, right? And I wasn't talking to Tipster, but this person had the same exact take as Tipster. And a lot of YouTubers who leave the quote-unquote commentary community think that, right? Where they think they're like this. And I've just spent so much time, and there's a huge diversity of opinion, right? And they go after people on the both left and the right. And I know I have heard things, like I make fun of breadtubers all the time, and I really throw shots at Hassan because I like to, and I have lots of problems with him that I personally feel. Would you win would you win in a fight with a breadtuber or a shower? I would definitely win in a fight with a breadtuber, but they're all built like spaghetti, so you know.
Who would win in a fight, breadtuber or a shower?
Definitely shower. Definitely shower. I read that wrong. Sorry, I'm getting drunk. Nick isn't a fascist. He's just a fattest. Right? So I had to like every time they're like, I hated the person I was. No. You were just an asshole. Okay? Because that's not what it is behind the scenes. It's just not that. Like, obviously, they're going to take shots at somebody like Keffels, but Keffels is a piece of shit. Like, it's really not that hard of a take for me to make. It's really not. But all this to say, this happens all the time. So I am telling you right now that is not what commentary is. All right? It's just not that. Most people throwing around the word Nazi probably are cultists or cult leaders. And the thing is I'll hear some insane fucking shit about some of these breadtubers. And a lot of them, and this goes for a lot of YouTubers, and I know we've talked about it on stream before, right? Where they find out about something and they go, well, it would ruin our image if we talked about it. So we're just going to all pretend that it didn't happen, or ignore that bad person who did something bad in our community, right? But when it's somebody on the opposite side of the aisle, you bet we're going to put on our activist hats. And I hate that. I really do, because it should be more about your personal identity and morals as an individual that you want to express out into the world, and they just so happen to be that way, right? But it's just one of those things where it's like a lot of people say it, and I think the reason they say it is because of they're associating it with like the really edgy ones, like Poncho or something like that. Like, I don't agree with Poncho at all. Like, I don't. I don't like the whole like weird Andrew Tate bullshit that some people have, but I can't wait to find out who the fuck Keffels is without having to go check for myself. Eve, I would be here literally all night if we were talking Keffels. Keffels makes it too easy to take shots at her. Well, you know, she did lines, and then when she did a line, she became racist. Speaking of breadtubers, did you hear about how Dan Olson, Folding Ideas, posted CP to 8chan to make them look bad or something like that? Man, that's an exact example of what I was talking about, yes. I don't know if it's true, but I've heard the rumor. Keffel stream win. Well, you see, here's the problem with doing a Keffel stream, is that she's going to mold about it and talk about how I'm a fascist or something. But let me just come out right now and say it. I would consider myself left-leaning. Okay? No, she did a line and defrauded the commies. Who was the person who did a line and became racist? I can't remember. And ableist. Oh, yeah, that too. I don't know. Maybe people should stop doing cocaine. Is that a hard take? Stop doing cocaine? Yeah, they think the commentary community all have the same opinions on shit because they don't think for all themselves and have the same opinions. Yeah. It'll put an unnecessary target on your channel. Yeah, that's the only reason I haven't done a Keffel stream. I just don't want the bullshit. I enjoy talking tea and drama, but I've deliberately avoided putting Keffels in a title or a thumbnail. Same thing with Tipster. I know all about Tipster. I know all about Keffels, but I just don't want to deal with the back and forth on Twitter from them, right? That's really it. And I just feel like, in my personal opinion, as someone who is like I don't call myself an activist, but I do things that are like socially conscious, right? Like, obviously I teach underprivileged kids how to make movie. Okay, I do that. I dedicate a lot of my time to those things and the issues that I care about. I don't think I need to get involved in Twitter bullshit to be somebody who has convictions and opinions and morals, right? Tipsters in the Keffel's new Catboy Ranch. Yes. Oh, wait. Yes. Okay. We're going to get back to fucking the other shit in a second. But yes, Keffel's did make the homemade estrogen in the bathtub. Yes. That happened. That happened. Did you see the most recent French girl thing, Diesel? Yes, I did, Craig. Yes, I did. But let's talk about the Funko Pop Garfield guy. And I also heard a lot of things about the French girl stuff behind the scenes. So I'm going to wait for some more stuff to come out before I come and talk about that.
Where basically they have attempted to take their side of the story.
See, I enjoy throwing a certain bread folk for the, I'm going to draw with something long podcast on, but I usually go with H-Bomb because he's frantically going over video games and an occasional conspiracy. I think H-Bomb is one of the better ones. I have nothing negative to say about him. Obviously, I'll like disagree with some of his takes, but I don't have anything bad to say about him. And I've never heard anything bad about him, which is the point, right? Everyone, Diesel, talk about Keffels. Diesel, no, but I'm well aware of the lore. Don't worry. Guys, I know everything. Okay? Like you guys have your autistic fixation for like trains and planes. Mine is crazy people, okay? We're all allowed to have it, and that's mine, okay? So, thank you. It's okay to disagree with a content creator, but Cloudy, how can I do that? This is the internet. I can only be in my little hug box. If I see somebody with a different opinion, I'll blow up. Happened to my buddy Eric. He blew up. Yeah. H Bomber guy. He posted that video of Blair's plagiarism.
Story and kind of cut it up into pieces and try to tell it in a way that makes me seem like an abuser. And they've been doing this basically for 2 years now to try and get a reaction out of me. They've been following me around on every social media site they can find me on, just trying to get a reaction out of me. And I guess I've spent so much time trying to be mature, trying not to instigate anything further, because I hate drama and I really don't like starting stuff, but it's just gotten to a point where I need you guys to know what happened. I need you guys to know how this kind of hurt me in a big way and why I cut this person out of my life and the real story behind what happened and not the version of the story they made up for clicks. Okay. So I'll take you back. When I made the first iCarly video, it was one of the strangest ideas I'd ever had.
Does he have
Up to that point in my career, I'd been striving for short-form content. I'd often been told, yes, I always fear what other people think of me.
So that's her, but he's... Hey, I'm fucking tired and quite drunk, so I have no shame in asking this anymore. But what do you think of me? It's been something that's been occupying my head for such a long time. I've been anxiety-ridden to ask because I don't want to drive people away from me. Like, fuck, I really like you, and I think you're cute, and you're a wonderful person. But I guess I always fear what other people think of me. I just don't want to come off as too imposing or creepy to anyone, especially not you. Yikes. I think you're an awesome, funny person and a great friend, and I'm grateful to have you around. Now get some rest. You, my homie. So he curved her. He curved her. Quinton, I'm going to tell you this right now. You should have been just like 100% straight up. I'm not interested in you like that. Okay? I think it would have been much better if you were very upfront.
I just don't want to come off as too imposing or creepy to anyone, and especially not you. This was not the October DM. This was one of the early DMs. And I felt really uncomfortable. Because this has never happened to me before. I'd never been put in a situation. Now get some rest, hun. And then I wrote, you, my homie. And, talking cordially, I should not have approached that this way at any point. I should have been more blunt and upfront.
Thank you.
It was a very awkward situation to be put in.
Thank you. Okay, guys, life is too short. All right, if you're in your 20s to mid-20s to 30s and you're like on the scene, stop beating around the bush. You notice that somebody's interested with you, you know what you do? You say either, yeah, I'm interested, let's try this out, or no, I'm not interested. Be very frank, because like most people just aren't going to get it. So just be forward about it. All right? You're going to cause a lot less angst for people that way. All right? It's not being mean. It's being kind when you do that. All right? Because otherwise you're just going to sit around hoping that something changes. And you don't want to do that.
But I was hoping if I left in some tone indicators saying stuff like, you're my friend, you're my homie, I was hoping she would get the gist and she would kind of stop sending me messages like these. Later on, she sent me notes from watching episodes of Victorious. She had gotten heavily intoxicated while taking
she's like
these
a real alcoholic.
notes, and in the notes was again a statement that she had feelings for me. And I just had this sense that things were gonna get bad. And then late into the night of October the 31st, she sent me this message.
Use tone indicators. That's a red flag. So true, Matt.
I guess technically it was in November, but the point is she sent me this message, which again I would typically not release, but she's kind of forced my hand. Hey Quinton, so there isn't any good way to sugarcoat this, and I'm tired as hell and quite drunk. Again, she's drunk. So I'm just gonna say it now and let future deal with the fallout. I think I have feelings for you. Like, I like you. I like you. Yes, in that way. I think you're just so fucking cute and sweet and amazing. I've been too scared to say it because I don't want to drive you away from me, and I don't want things too awkward between us. Like at all, I genuinely care about you, and you're an amazing human being. This is not a joke at all, but I just want
This is really fucking sad. Oh, man, she's going to make a great cat lady in like 10 years. She's got to stop the drinking. Yeah, she's got a real fucking problem. This is a really bad drinking problem. And she's what, like early 20s? Wow.
To know that I like you. I really do. I'm my tired self and is tired of keeping it hidden, lol. I'm just graduating in December and moving up to...
To be fair, Quinton should probably take what he can get. Yeah, but here's the thing. He's a successful YouTuber, so for some reason, people just, like, spread him open, you know? I don't know why.
Redacted. So I have nothing left to lose anymore, I guess. Lol. Anyway, I don't know how to end this. Halloween. Drink lots of water.
Yay. No, Quinton's being way too nice. He's being way too nice. Oh, man. Second, I decided a long time ago I was never interested in entering a relationship that started with someone watching my vids. I think it's a real branch of ethics that leads to a lot of abusive situations. I think that's fine. I think at his size, that's really difficult. I'm just generally a person who avoids the power dynamic in romance. Okay, sure. Thirdly, I can't imagine dating someone on my staff. That is a power dynamic right there. Fourth, I just don't see you that way, and I hope that is all right with you. Well, of course that's not going to be all right with her. Oh, man. I hope you understand that I still think you're swell, and I really appreciate your friendship, but I'm not interested in a relationship. Well, at least he's being forward now. This is a little uncomfortable for me, but I've seen it coming for a long time. It's hard when you don't have an HR department. Again, I just hope you understand the situation, you're respectful of it, and you don't try to find any loopholes or whatever to my explanation. Again, I think you're a great friend, and I think you'll find someone else. But this just isn't me, I'm afraid.
So you don't get hung over. I've been aware of your victim.
So this has gone from very, like, ridiculous to really sad. Like, she is a fucking mess. She's such a mess. She's such a mess. But then also in the same token, it's like, I think we all get it. We've all been there, right? Like, we've all been here, right? We've all gotten curved by someone. That's happened, right? Someone we think is amazing and, like, perfect for us, and they curve us, right? And this was a nice way of being direct. Yeah, 100%. There's no other way that you can sugarcoat it. This is as good as you can get, I think.
For some time. It's hard when you don't have an HR department. You don't really... That's worth questioning. Because I've often believed that at some point, when it comes to me as the creator and you as the audience, and the weird parasocial, complications there, it's not your...
Stay silent. No, not me. Yeah, I always get whoever I'm chasing after. And yeah, nothing left to lose but her job.
Responsibility to be mad at people on my behalf. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you an example. There are YouTubers that I don't like. I have beef with them. I'm pissed off at them. I don't like them. But I've always thought I would be a kind of a dick if I went around posting videos like, you can't watch that skit YouTuber. They were mean to me at a party once. And when I was younger, I was less mature about this stuff. And I'm sure you guys are going to point out all the times I haven't held myself to this standard. But the reason I didn't talk about this for so long was that I strongly believed,
how hard it is to not have an HR department, bruh.
It wasn't your responsibility to care that this had happened. And B, I thought if I talked about this, my fan base would flog this person down and it would be borderline harassment. And I guess just C is I really respect everybody's right to have kind of these private things, to have these private disagreements. It doesn't have to be on fucking Keemstar.
Keemstar catching strays. He's catching strays still.
And that's why I didn't talk about it for almost 2 years. But what ended up happening...
In the future, guys, I hope they say, hopefully this doesn't have to be on fucking FPS Diesel.
was I sent this message, and this was the last time we talked on Discord. A few days later, she messaged me on Twitter, and it was kind of weird, because initially she was like, oh, haha, how you doing? To me, log back time, a day, tell you know, the stuff. She told me I didn't sleep working on your videos because I wanted them to I wanted to get them.
Time for me to do it too. I will shoot my parasocial shot to a TikTok muscle mommy.
Cat, that's you shoot that shot. I don't know why that didn't show up in my chat. Listen, one day the TikTok muscle mommy will answer you. Okay, you just gotta be really annoying.
Fast enough to impress you, and you abused my feelings to get me to work that hard, and I was just shocked.
Go to the next.
So I sent her.
How do you feel about 1,400 for this specific video? $1,700. I was a sole guest editor for this one after all. All right, fair. Yeah. Thank you. What's your PayPal again? So she agreed. There was like no fucking. There was no anything to that. That was it. Hold on. So I guess we can assume that redacted part. Why did I keep these grievances all to myself until now? Because I wanted to impress you. I wanted you to take notice of me. Part of me wanted so badly for you to reciprocate my feelings. I was willing to decide to push aside all the shit you did just for that fucking chance. Jesus Christ.
YouTube rejected it and said I had to edit the message.
Oh man, YouTube is trying to stop you from the muscle mommies.
and tried so hard to overwork themselves because they wanted to impress me in some way. And that at some point they were probably they maybe only joined my editor team.
That is an admission. That's an admission of her own fault. All right. Well, Quinton, you were never gonna go through life without running into one crazy bitch. I don't know if I'd say that's sexual harassment. Considering it was only when she was drunk and otherwise she was cool. And Quinton willingly kept her around. The power is literally all within Quinton's hands, but I'm willing to disagree on that one, I guess, right?
I think I shouldn't have to worry about people joining my projects because they want to kind of
she acts like a dramatic anime girl, yeah. She used this whole thing as an excuse to binge drink. She knew that would happen. She just needed an out. Yeah. Sexual harassment. She had none of it.
Me into dating them. It was just a really awful thing to have to go through, and I have a lot of trust issues because of it. And I feel kind of hurt by what happened. And I never wanted revenge. I never wanted retribution. I never wanted people to harass this person or to go after them. I never wanted people to stop watching them because of this. I just wanted some level of privacy because this really did hurt me in a big way. And I just wanted some level of privacy and to kind of be left alone. Because this was a very inappropriate thing that a person did. That
oh man, to believe that Quinton Reviews is the one that's ending up having to deny the riz of the drunk alcoholic woman. All this for a neckbeard. Maybe she was too drunk to remember every time he rejected her. Probably.
That made me really uncomfortable and made it really hard for me to trust people. And I just wanted to let it go. But the fact that I have so many people now that come to me and they say like, hey, there's allegations. Can you respond to the allegations? It really sucks. And I know it's a cliche, but I didn't want to make this video until I had to. But
I know it's a cliche. I think he did a good job. I know I've skimmed this, but I think he did a really good job. And I really respect this one. He was very professional.
It's been obvious for a while that I had to make the video. And I just need you guys to understand that this thing happened. That I didn't like that it happened.
Rolled in at one charisma, but you can get Mana Pot.
That's right, Mana Potion Coffee, ManaPotion.coffee.com, biodegradable fair trade coffee. It's very based. Cat's a real one.
Like, that I felt like someone manipulated me in this way. And I'm just so tired. I'm so tired of having to deal with it and having to see it. I don't want revenge. I don't want retribution. All I've wanted since this happened was for this person to accept that they're not a main character in my life, that they're never, because that's what it felt like. The total anger that was directed at me because I said no. It felt like, I still believe this is what the situation is. She's mad because I didn't want to be her boyfriend. And she got even more mad when I no longer wanted her in my life. And now her whole online presence is about forcing herself into my life. And, you know, it's just been so hard. It just sucks so much to deal with.
You know, I've been kind of nervous about getting into the dating scene myself, but if he can get a men-air girl to obsess over him, then I have a chance, so thanks, I guess. Quinton Reviews.
You hear this, Quinton Reviews? You're inspiring people that they can get out there and pull the tail of their choosing. Quinton Reviews, Godspeed. Look, Saga's getting out here because of you. So based. Oh man, I hope you find that honey or himbo that you're looking for.
And I've had to talk about it now because she's going out there making these hit pieces and saying things which she knows aren't true. And I'm sure I didn't respond to every lie or half-truth that she said, but I just need you guys to understand what really happened, how it made me feel uncomfortable, and how I just want it to be behind me. And that's kind of the whole thing, I guess. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you understand why I had to do this video and why I had to tell the truth and how uncomfortable this whole situation made me. And
Robert! Diesel, I'm really drunk in the moment. And I'll let sober me deal with this in the future, but I really like you. I'm not gay or have ever spoken to you before, but you acknowledge my message.
and I'm still trying to work to put out that video. But,
Quinton
I think
Reviews is literally solving the birth gap issue right now, okay? Gen Z is going to have so many babies thanks to Quinton curving this crazy woman.
Big thing I want to end on here by saying is something she's often hinted at or just flat out said is that I don't put work into my content. I think she sent it to me in a DM once after she got pissed off. She said, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I put more work into this video than you did. She said that to me. So she was saying that she put more work into these videos than I did. And I think that's so easily disproven by the fact that after she left the team, the videos just kept getting longer and better. I mean, she didn't touch the editing of the Victorious video. And I haven't, you know, the big thing I want to walk away from this saying is if you're on my editing team and something's wrong, if you need more time or you feel like I've been giving you too much stuff or you want to be paid more at any specific point, just tell me. That's it. Just tell me.
Just talk. You know, just talk. That's it. That's literally the biggest takeaway here. You need to be willing to be communicative. Like, bruh.
You need more. If you think you deserve more, just tell me.
Quinton Reviews over Shinzo Abe. Shinzo Abe got shot so Quinton Reviews could sit in his chair behind Garfield. If Quinton could get psych ward girls, I could get a goth baddie. Bruh, this you guys are wilding tonight, bruh.
We can have the conversation. But you don't ask me out, react negatively to get rejected, and then bring up money in a threatening way. That's not how you do things. I would have given her more money if she'd asked for it before she did this. And I just want my editor team to know that they're comfortable. If they can't work, they don't need to work. If they need more money, we'll just try and see what we can figure out. And 9 times out of 10, if somebody says, hey, I want more money, I want this amount of money, I will just send that amount of money to them. Because the Patreon's there for a reason. I pay my editors. I file my taxes. And I have to get this out because you guys need to know the truth and know what really happened and know that I am not running a sweatshop and that I do pay my editors and that this person, well, you know, no need to get into it. And I'm not asking you to harass anybody. I'm not asking you to be a little Quinton Reviews militia. I just need you to understand what actually happened in case you see this bullshit in the wild. So there you go. That's my response. I'm sorry I had to make this.
A good response. A good response. This is a great response. I appreciate it. And as you all know now that according to Quinton Reviews, you can all shoot your shot. You can all get out there and get the baddie of your dreams or fumble the bag really hard. But just know that when you fumble that bag, that the game's not over until you're dead. Shinzo Abe said that exact quote. Exact quote. Bro really snuck in doing his taxes there. Speaking of getting the bag, I have something to show you, chat. All right. Oh no. I have something to show you. I want some hot guy to fumble his bag inside me. No, I have something much worse. Hasn't been used. So, I will fill this jar with something. I have more coming in. I have more. I will own about 20 of these in the coming weeks. Okay? I will own about 20 of these. And the next main channel video on Illuminati will be the best piece of video content I have ever made in my entire life. 100%. That is a guarantee right now, chat. Okay? Finding a jar this big was pretty difficult. I will not lie. I'll have plenty. I'll crucify one. I'll go to the range if you want. Okay? I'll do it. Is that a threat? It's a promise, Travis. All right. This is undone Quinton's morale boost. Expect that C&D soon. Listen, I tweeted it out earlier today. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't get C&Ds for some reason. We'll be reacting to the EDP apology. Actually, that's the next thing on the list this evening. That is literally the next thing on the list. Hold on. All right, I will say that Illuminacy. So allow me
Illuminacy.
Oh, that actually read out pretty well. Wow. So I should say that I've looked into this and I have some bad news. Diesel putting a new spin on sad milk. I saw a video of an old woman claiming to be Onision's mother having her pussy blasted by what was allegedly Onision. And I have some sad news. It's not real. I'm sorry. You must hoist paranoid pyramid preserves upon us. Hey, I mean, I could fill this with, like, fruit, I guess. I could make preserves out of it. Scott is very scary, right? Right, so there's somebody claiming that a video going around is that. I had this video sent to me, right? Brand new sentence spoken by Diesel. Right? Kate, how of all people did you see it, Kate? How did you see that? But yeah, it wasn't Onision. I did some investigative work. And it was just unsolicited. It was just unsolicited granny porn pretending to be Onision related. But that tweet did numbers, so I just figured I'd update you all in case you saw it. Anyway, luckily Nicholas Diorio has logged the EDP apology. Hear about Onision's new books, the autobiography and the children's books. I have heard. Guys, I've heard about every drama and every single thing that happens. If a YouTuber unconsensually DMs a tree in the forest, I hear about it, okay? Who likes granny porn? I'm so bewildered. I don't know why your super chat didn't go through. And hey, man, some people are into MILFs, some people are into GILFs. Definitely too old for me, I can tell you that. Also, I did not want to have to see it, but I did. I dare you to purchase Colleen's self-help book. What did Dan Olson say about Quinton's vid? I want to see. Dan Olson's Folding Ideas, right? Yeah, it is. That is Folding Ideas. What am I saying? When the fuck did he tweet about it? Anyway, we're over with Quinton. We gotta watch the. Oh, he deleted it. Cringe. What about Dilf's Diesels? I'd like to fuck. All right. So here's what EDP had to say. His apology video has been released. His apology for the cupcake incident.
Well, first and foremost, I want to say thank you so much to my loving, supporting, caring friends and family. Without you guys, to be honest with you, I probably would have been fucking committed suicide. I've had a few close calls, you know what I mean? And each and every single time you guys have gave me
yes,
gave
I
me
know
the
who
biggest,
Cyrax
most
is.
heartwarming
Cyrax
hug.
Is, yes.
You guys have offered your words of encouragement. You guys have sat back, took me by the hand, you know what I mean? And you guys have done nothing but show me love, compassion, support, you know what I mean? And for that, I am ever so...
Guys, let's take a drink every... Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. I feel like we should be sober after that Quinton video, you know? Y'all ever been called MILF, DILF, Mommy, etc. when you've never had a child? I've been called Punk Mommy twice now. Oh. Oh, there it is. There's a...
Must you hoist paranoid pyramid preserves upon us?
Dan Olson just didn't watch the video and said Quinton should pay his editors, even though he did say that. It was odd. Ah, okay. Wow. Yeah, that's the problem, is that people in this field will just take shots. You know what? Everybody gives commentary shit when they get out ahead of something and they end up having like a shitty take. But Dan, what the fuck? Whatever, I didn't really think highly of Dan anyway. I will say I did get like a notch of respect for Quinton from that.
Fucking grateful, you know what I mean? I also want to say thank you so much to the fans. You know what I mean? To my fucking supporters.
All right. I will say that in an apology video, EDP saying thank you to the fans is fucking psychotic, and categorically an incorrect statement. There are no EDP fans, stans, or anybody who enjoys watching the man who just talks about blowing up a bathroom in Chipotle.
Dating way back in 2010 when I first started making videos on YouTube, you know what I mean? Even, you know, transitioning onto my own fucking website, where I'm continuing to make content, you know what I mean? Try to put out the word, try to make equals videos and shit like that, you know what I mean? Thank you so much. Honestly, thank you so much. You guys have no idea how happy, how appreciative, and how blessed I am to have such a loving, supporting, caring following.
Okay, so we're a minute and 38 seconds in, and he hasn't apologized for anything.
You know what I mean? But with that being said, I want to take full responsibility for my actions that happened on April 21st, 2021. The entire YouTube shit that went down, the entire YouTube incident, You know what I mean? That went the fuck down. I'm not even going to get into it. You guys already know what the fuck happened.
As someone who's never watched EDP, what was his content? He didn't have any content. He just gave hot take reactions to Eagles games like football.
I'm taking full responsibility, full accountability for my actions. You know what I mean? I have taken the proper measures and the proper steps forward to seek out help, to try to, get my head on right and to make sure that, in the distant future that I do not hurt, you know what I mean, my loving, caring, supporting friends and family, because they are the ones that hurt the most. They are the ones that suffer the most. You know what I mean? I've received numerous fucking messages, screenshots from my friends and family. You know what I don't
know anything he means. Is anybody else? So on one hand, this sounds like very serious and not a joke, but this is like buffeted with his previous videos being about like the trans Jewish question, So like, can you really trust a single thing that's coming out of his mouth? There's like zero charitability that I can give to EDP when he has all of this weird baggage laying behind him. And this apology, if real, is more genuine and serious than Colleen Ballinger's, if you know what I mean. Do you think EDP is dropping this vid after seeing Colleen's dog shit video and just trying to not get the worst apology award? Well, here's the thing. Thinking about it in the least charitable light, he's putting it out now because he'll look better in comparison to Colleen's apology, right? So it looks good for him to do it now because we're going to compare it to Colleen. I mean, we are. If we're being frank, this is a better apology video than any of the apology videos I've seen this year outside of Quite's taking accountability, which is barely that. I mean, I guess Quinton Reviews also had a good one too, but shit, we're getting a lot of these. I'm going to have to do a tier list of apology videos this year.
Them getting harassed, them getting bullied, them getting fucked with by people, you know what I mean? And it's all my fault. You know what I mean? It's completely my fault that Philippe has cut ties with me. It is completely my fault that JD, Katie, Pistol 213, Jason that lives out in Louisiana.
What? Does it not just sound like he's naming random people? Yeah, I'm so sorry that I'm no longer friends with Sniper X Racism XX. My best friend John left me. I'm very sorry to my friend Steve, who you all know. Yeah, EDP, I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Dallas Cowboys fan, L Killer 504, Zomp, Nitro Freak.
Not Jason in Louisiana.
Shit, man. The fucking list can go on. Kyle.
Oh, man, Kyle. I miss you, Kyle. How dare you turn your back on EDP 445? I knew you were one of his biggest defenders. All up until that fateful cupcake day.
Already mentioned his name. So many people that I let down. So many people that I betrayed their trust, with my actions, you know what I mean? And the thing for me is that I don't want to come on here, cry, boo-hoo, beg for people's forgiveness, you know what I mean? The only thing that I'm trying to go for in the distant future is redemption.
No, you don't get redeemed. I don't think that works for alleged pedophiles, and it ain't even that hard to say alleged. I'd say confirmed, but I'm not saying that. What sucks the most about the EDP situation, he had actual victims and didn't just fall for a decoy. But that information is so lesser known that people will assume you're crazy. Yeah, there's actual victims to EDP. Crazy if you bring it up. Yeah.
What I mean, the only thing that I'm trying to go for is to restore honor and to restore a positive outlook on my name.
Okay, first of all, your name is Eat That Pussy 445. Okay, 445 being your area code. there ain't much to redeem there, and you already hit rock bottom. The only way you could be even worse is if you just got booked and charged with the crime.
You know what I mean? Because this entire shit that has been going down, from me getting fucked with, me getting kicked out of fucking apartments, people coming to my home when I was back in Bakersfield, tried to fucking murder my ass, you know what I mean? It's been pretty fucked up.
Crazy. It's almost like people just do not trust people who are alleged to be pedophiles. Crazy. It's almost like people wouldn't want to have that person in their apartment.
It's been a long ass fucking road. You know what I mean? A long, scary, dangerous road. You know, and again, like I mentioned before, I have nobody to blame but myself. So, like I mentioned before, man, I'm seeking the proper help that I need to seek out. I am doing whatever I can to make sure that this does not happen again. And I am, again, to my friends and family, I am so...
I wonder if he had somebody in his family come to him and be like, what have you done, Mr. EDP, whatever his real name is? Bro, it's been 4 years. It's too late when people think of pedo. It's EDP. Yep.
So sorry that you guys had to endure this shit. You know what I mean?
And no, he didn't address the allegations at all.
I know actions speak louder than words. You know what I mean? And trust me, I'm a fucking clear believer of that. I'm a true believer of that. You know what I mean? You can sit back and talk about it all goddamn day, but until you actually, you know, show that you're making improvements, you know what I mean? It's like, what's the fucking point, you know? So, trust me, I am trying to let my actions speak louder than my words. You know what I mean? Again, I am terribly sorry for the pain, the anguish, the hurt that I've caused multiple people. I have lost so many good fucking friends behind this. You know what I mean? And I don't know what I can do to have you guys give me a second chance.
There's nothing, EDP. There's nothing to come back from. We're talking about these allegations are there's no coming back from it. Leave the internet, period. I don't even know how he can find a normal job with all the shit that he's pulled over the last 4 years. Like, just leave the internet.
Other than do what I can, you know, to seek out help, to get the right treatment, to understand what I did was wrong, and to stop running from it. You know what I mean? To own that shit and to try to, like I mentioned before, take responsibility for my actions and stop, you know, trying to, you know, push it off on.
All I could think is, like, he got wind that the feds are coming, and he's just like, I might as well just pack it all away right now before I'm done. Like, he's just not saying anything. He didn't say what the allegations were. He's not saying how. Like, obviously he's saying he's going to get therapy, but it just comes off as fake because these last 3 years he's been posting the most insane shit.
To other people. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just wanted to come on here and, you know, offer this apology video to my friends.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, give it like a month and you're going to see EDP doing some psycho video again on his website where he says something incredibly insane. Damn, bro, you lost all your friends because you're a pedophile and been hiding it and going off like crazy on the internet for years. Yeah. His FBI agent must have been fired for sleeping on the job. Yeah, I can't believe that he's going to do anything based on this information. It just doesn't, like, the entire background behind him just comes off as fake. FBI agent just out of frame. They're actually carting out his PC as we speak, okay? They found files on top of files, and he's going away for the next 40 years. Legally, this is a joke. Legally, this is a joke.
To my family, to pretty much all the people that I fucking hurt. You know what I mean?
Well, considering there's grooming allegations there, it does seem like you might have hurt some people very severely, and that it's being underplayed quite a bit. Yeah, Bo Black's responded. He keeps calling it the incident. If he was really taking accountability, he would straight up say, I was a pedo, and now I'm trying to cure myself with therapy. Yeah, well, it's not going to happen. Like, he doesn't know this can 100% be used against them. Yeah. This video is what we call Exhibit A. Yeah, it kind of comes off like an admission, you know? It does come off like an admission. So they found petabytes on top of petabytes. Oh man, Jesus. What a day. I'm gonna end the stream there. I'm very tired. So you all have a what is this music? This is too extreme. I'm so tired, EP. Axis 1247, thank you for becoming a member right before the stream ends. If you haven't joined the Discord, do it. Join the Discord. We're so cool. And we talk tea and tons of other stuff, and people are good. It's a good time over there. Thank you for all the new members and the donos. That shit does make this a lot easier for me as somebody who's kind of switched to doing this a lot more. But right now, I'm very tired, EP, so... I don't know why the member thing comes through twice.
1247 became a member.
But yeah, take care. And Kate, go to sleep. It's very early.